Good morning, welcome to this Mark's Reviews tutorials video. Today I'm going to show you how to replace this handle here. This is the new one. This is not a genuine one, it's just a China one that I've reported. And have a look at the stitching in it. It really is quite good. I'm going to put a link in the description through to this. But these soft touch, soft feel plastics BMW have, they're not lasting the test of time. They're often going really sticky, like particularly behind it. They're just unpleasant to touch and get onto. And this one has got great big chunks have come out of it. I don't know if this whole pandemic thing and hand sanitizers made it worse, but it was just a big mess, this one here. So we bought the new bits. I'm going to show you how to get this off. Often with something like this, you can have a look at the new parts. They're going to give you a really big indicator as to what's involved in getting them off. You can see this here. This is this part here. That's going to go in through the handle, and that's going to go in through there. There's obviously going to be some screws down in there and there holding that in. And before we can get through to that, then this cover here has to come off the top. So it attaches. You can see here there's clips all the way along, and they slide on just like that over the top. And also here you can see there's a big hook at the top. So getting this cover off, it goes like that. So we're going to be prying it off to start with, and then we're going to be sliding it that way to get it out. So I've put this tape on here just because this was so sticky and such a mess. But now the parts are here, we'll chop it off and we'll get underway. So you can see with the tape off, this one really is trashed. It's sticky and it's horrible. Anyway, because it's so trashed, both sides, top and bottom, I don't have to be careful getting it apart. And what I've done, I just got in here with a screwdriver into this crack and just opened on the way along. And it's coming off nicely, just like that. There we go. And as we saw on the other one, this bit then needs to pull forward and out. And there you go. That top cover section is off. And it's sticky and horrible. So now we're going to have ourselves a couple of torque screws, because BMWs always have torque screws. Up in there, looks like about a T20. We'll see if we can't get those two off. So yeah, it's a T20 is the size. It's a torque screw. Undo the top one. That one's out, and another one down there. There it goes. Undo that. As it turns out, you do actually have to take the trim off and undo a couple of screws to change the handle out. That's the inner bit, or the outer bit obviously you can take off, but the inner bit, watch on, we'll take off the whole card and I'll show you how to take that handle off. Also, under here, you've also got to get it under there. So again, I'm going to put a link to this trim removal tool type stuff, but you need to get in here, something like that, not a screwdriver so that it doesn't damage it or scratch it, but just work your way around. This is the old, here we go. Get that off, and you'll see in there is another torque screw. And that's all the ones that you need. From there you can just pull the panels off all the way around. No, not true. Actually, down underneath, there's two. There's one there and one there. Undo those two torque screws, and then you can pull the whole panel off. 5 identical screws, all T20. Get those ones out, and then it's a matter of in under this edge, we'll flex and we'll pop that out. Getting this panel off can be tight, particularly at the start. The best way I've found is to get a couple of these bigger trim removal tools and lever them both back at the same time so you get that first crack. And then once the first one's off, see I've got my knee on the door there. Once you get the first one off, I did the double levering to get the first one to crack, then the fingers under, and then pull it, and then they start to come off, and they'll work their way around, all the way around. Like that. That's then off. So before we take this off, obviously we have to unplug this door lock here. Now, these BMW clips, these electrical clips, can be really, really difficult to get off. The best tool I've found for getting them off is actually, this is an O-ring spanner. I'll put a link in the description for that as well, but it's got a little point on it. And you can actually dig it in to the plug and then walk the plug out. You get your point down there and you walk it up. Those little devices are great. See how it's clipped in, obviously, with that circle there. So you can put the point down between those two and then lift it out, and it separates them and lifts it out. Absolutely brilliant for getting those BMW plugs out. The rest of the panel just pulls forward straight this way, straight out. You see these clips? It goes in under that edge there. So that all pulls forward. Now, there are wires all over the place here, and you're going to have to unwind them to get them off and unplug them if you're going to take the whole panel off, depending on what job it is you're wanting to do. Now, I'm just wanting to remove this handle, so I'm going to see if I can't just undo the two screws that I can see, one right there at the top, and see if I can't get it off. So I've got myself a box to sit this onto, so I'm not putting too much stress and strain onto the wires. And sure enough, I can see there's another T20 in here right there. There's another T20. We're going to take him out because that is what's holding the top handle, and that's the bit that I want to get out. This is the handle where it comes through. The screw you got to undo is the one that's right down there beside it. This is going back from the car, back towards the back wheels, and it's right down there, right beside that. That's the one that's attaching it. Right, so once you've got those two screws out, you will need a bit of a tap on the back, and that one's come out, that one's come out, and we're away. And have a look at that on the back. They just go feral. Like if you put your fingernail into it down here, it's quite okay and quite hard. But up here, it's just gone soft. Like you put your fingernail in, it just digs a great big hole. It's like silly putty, like blue tack. So anyway, out with the old, in with the new. So that went straight in beautifully. As I said, I'll put a link in the description through the new parts that I've bought. Nice and smooth, non-sticky now. Just got to put these two little screws back in from the back and then start to put the door panel back on. Okay, so once you got those two screws in, that's all in nice and tight now. So now it's just a matter of putting it back together. And the first thing is all the plastic clips. You've got one up here which lines up nicely. All these guys, I'll push them into place. Make sure your button's in place. And then just watch them. Just watch them as they go in. Make sure they go into the hole and give it a hit and work your way around. And that will clip on. Once you've got the first few in, the rest are really good. Okay, then you've got your 5 screws to go in. 2 into the handle, top and bottom, 1 into there, and 2 under there. Now we get to put the other half of the door handle on, remembering it's starting off with that big hook down there, so that slides into there, and then oh gosh, that's just going to go, isn't it? Look at that. Checking your seam lines down here, making sure it's all good, and that looks fantastic. It's a good color. It looks a bit different on the camera, but it's not. Let's get up from here. It's really happy with that. It totally looks natural and looks the part like it's supposed to be there. Okay, just put that little trim panel up the top and we are done. Just make sure you get a click, then put this bigger hook back here into place like that. Click, click, there we go. That's in. Even works. We're done. And that new handle is on. We've gone from really sticky crap both inside and out, looking terrible, to absolutely spot on. Really happy. As I said, I'll put a link in the description to that. It is just a China copy, it's not genuine, but very happy with the look and the feel. She's spot on.